Well, welcome back to WCNC Charlotte on this Sunday. I hope your day is going amazingly. If you're just joining us, we're talking about your weather forecast now for your plans. Brittany, we know there's the possibility of some rain, at least for part of our area.
Yes, so we are going to see only a few showers and storms though today compared to yesterday, which was a mess. We talked about 2 p.m. to midnight, and really right on cue, 2 o'clock, those storms started to pop up. Of course, we had some heavy rain at times, some widespread flooding in a few areas. Thankfully, that is not the case out there today. You can see only a few showers and storms popping up. 20% temperature-wise will be in the upper 80s, but feeling like the mid-90s. So is it hot and humid? Absolutely. But is it more conducive really for August compared to where we have been lately? I would say absolutely to that as well. So only a few stray showers and storms across the area today. Only a few brief showers out there right now. You can see mostly to our south there near Lancaster, Chesterfield County. A few isolated showers here approaching areas in southern Anson. But honestly, other than that, most areas dry. If you had rain last night or yesterday afternoon, you're probably waking up to a few areas of patchy fog. This will continue to mix out as we head throughout the morning. It's not too dense out there right now. Here's Futurecast by this afternoon. Again, just notice the storms so few and far between. A far cry from what we had yesterday. We'll get a break again on Monday with only a few popping up here and there. I think Monday's coverage is a little bit higher than today's, but overall 20 to 30% for the next 48 hours. Now notice by Monday night, see how cloud cover is starting to increase. This will likely be cloud cover increasing from the outer bands of what's right now Tropical Storm Debby. It is expected to make landfall in the Big Bend of Florida by Monday morning, which we'll talk a little bit more about coming up. But notice with some of those outer bands, we'll actually see a bit of a different forecast than what we're used to. Normally the storms are coming northwest to southeast. These bands, of course, will start for our southern areas like Lancaster, Chirac, and head eventually northward as we head throughout Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Debbie's progression is going to largely depend on whether or not it gets trapped on a cold front that will be across the Carolinas. If it does and it stalls, which we're trending a little bit more to that, our biggest impact locally will be heavy rain, localized flooding, but the potential for those impacts is still highest near the coast, just like we talked about yesterday. So there the storm is, Tropical Storm Debby. It did get a name yesterday. As of 5 a.m., the storm is located about 200 miles southwest of Tampa. Pretty much everybody knows right where that is, right on southwest Florida's coast. Again, the highest impacts really in southwest Florida, eventually the state of Florida before it heads off to the north and northeast. So here's the current forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. You can see the storm expected to make landfall on Monday, potentially as a Category 1 hurricane in the Big Bend of Florida. If you're not familiar, that's this little curve here, pretty much between Tallahassee and Live Oak in the central portion of North Florida. Now, eventually the storm heads up the coast, coastal Georgia, coastal Carolina, but notice how it's continued to expand kind of in size, I guess, by the time we get to day 5. That's largely due to the uncertainty of whether or not Debby gets trapped with that front and causes us more rain here in the Carolinas and, of course, toward Virginia and Maryland, too. Now, big question here, will we see tropical storm force wind? I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Very unlikely, even though the track has shifted a little bit closer inland here. You can still see only 10% chance of any of those tropical storm force winds. So, again, those impacts are highest along the coast. Inland, we are mostly talking about rain. So here's Sunday, Monday. You can see low impacts here when it comes to excessive rain. This is especially because we've had so much rain lately, but notice by Tuesday that excessive rainfall will get high to even extreme for areas along the coast. Here inland in Charlotte, we are still low and even maybe some moderate creeping in to places like Lancaster, Chesterfield County, and Anson. Again, the big question here is once the storm makes landfall there on Monday morning, will it continue to trek up the coast and eventually head out to sea, or could it stall for a few more days and eventually bring more of that rain inland? It's looking like a better chance for rain, at least through the end of the upcoming week, so make sure you are staying weather aware. We'll, of course, update you throughout the week as well. What you'll notice is those more clouds approaching as early as Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Mostly those 4 days we'll see those impacts from the rain. We'll, of course, have to stay tuned to the forecast for any changes as we approach next weekend, but with more clouds and more rain by the middle part of this week, you'll also notice those temperatures a little bit lower, most days in the mid-80s.